following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
What is up, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Up-Tempo Podcast. I'm your host, Blake Lane. Tonight here with my co-host, Dustin Smith, and we are here to talk about the Auburn Tigers. Man, Dustin, getting eliminated from the NCAA Tournament, going 1-1, getting a first-round victory over the Iowa Hawkeyes, getting eliminated in the round of 32 to the Houston Cougars. Man, it looked like in that first half we were headed to the Sweet 16, my dude, but Houston had other plans, man. Just overall, Dustin, I wanted to start this thing off, man. Let's get your thoughts and opinions on the Auburn Tigers and their 1-1 record in the NCAA tournament.
Man, it's hard when you give one up the way we gave that one up. It's just you wake up the next morning with that feeling in your stomach, and that one's going to hurt for a long time. And I was texting my brother and my dad about halftime, and I said, man, this is going to be one of them games where either you're going to go into J&M one day and there's going to be paintings of it, or we're going to be hurt. And it turned out to be hurt. There's been a lot more hurt than painting games in all of Auburn sports lately, unfortunately. But, at the end of the day, man, I think this team overachieved. I mean, if you listen to the podcast, you know that I have just been down on this team since the Ole Miss game. And so still to win a game of the tournament, I'm proud of them. Like I said, I think that the results are above what I think this team is. And we'll get into it tonight. It's not so much about talent. I think Jalen Williams is a good example of what is positive and negative about this team. You got all the ability, and then it just comes and goes. And that's just kind of what I remember most about this season. But roster construction aside, Bruce did a hell of a job this year. And it is impressive to say that since it has expanded to 64 teams, we've never lost in the round of 64. We're 11-0 now in the round of 64. So we have a lot of historical bad statistics. Yeah. You know, haven't won at Kentucky, and there's a lot of those that we have in basketball. So that's a good one that we can hang our hat on and be proud of. I mean, you look at Purdue going out to a 16 seed, Fairleigh Dickinson in the first round. We came in, we made a good show. There was a point at the end of the season where we didn't even think we were going to make the tournament, and we ended up winning. We ended up winning a game with a team that had severe limits on the roster. So overall, I think that this season was a success. There's obviously a lot of disappointments, especially when you look at every loss went the same way. Outside of the visiting Lexington, every loss went the same way, and it was you giving it away. Yeah. So that's kind of the frustrating part. But I think that this program is in a healthy place. And like Bruce said last night, he's already started recruiting, and we'll get into it. What's the turnover going to be, and how's this team going to look? It'll be fun. It'll be interesting for sure.
Dustin, as much as I was down on this team, man, and I've been down on them since the
Georgia
game in Athens, man. I want to tip my cap. I want to tip my cap to him, man. I know things didn't go well last night in the second half, but you were a game away from not making the NCAA tournament. If you would have lost to Tennessee at home, you wouldn't have made the NCAA tournament. And you found a way to win that game. And then to get into the NCAA tournament, to get matched up against the Iowa Hawkeyes, who score at a prolific rate. I mean, they fill up the basket. So everybody was picking against you, man. You look at all the analysis and the experts and the NCAA college basketball, Grant Hill, the Bill Rafteries and all those guys, Jim Nance, they're all picking against you and everything. And you go out and you beat a solid Iowa team, a quality Big Ten opponent. And then you take Houston for 20 minutes and you just absolutely drag them. All right. Yeah. And the last 20 minutes was the worst basketball that we have played all season. We thought the Kentucky game was bad, but that performance right there topped it. You were in a position to take down the number 2 team in the country, a team that was the number 1 team in the country for weeks out of the season, a majority of the year, and you just absolutely flop in your backyard. All right. Yeah. That was one of the things with me. You had all the momentum. Houston was playing your game, and then you flop like that in the second half. And I know we'll talk about it here shortly, but man, just to give us that excitement and that thrill, Dustin, of getting back to the NCAA tournament. There for a minute, you thought Auburn was about to take you back on a magical March Madness run. I was sitting here the whole time thinking like, hey, dude, at halftime, I was like, I'm about to start having to eat crow on some of these tweets that I sent out about that 2019 team. I was like, because this team is about to get into the Sweet 16 and maybe they do make a run, but man, kudos to the team. I really just I tip my cap to them. Damn. I wish we could make a free throw though, because if we could make free throws, how many more games would we have won, Dustin? That's my biggest thing, man, is I watched last night and I tweeted out before we went on the absolutely horrific stretch of not being able to make a free throw. I said, this game's going to come down to us having to hit free throws when it matters. And my buddy, we could not live up to it, Dustin. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Terrible.
Especially in that moment, man. And I saw Joe Nye in his post-game presser, man. He said that he was just so down on himself, and as he should be, hey, but to see a kid take accountability like that and to say, hey, look, I promise that I'm going to get in the gym. I'm going to get better. I'm going to strive to do things with a little more pizzazz behind me, man. Like that's one thing I noticed about Joe Nye, Dustin, is when things aren't going right, man, it just kind of looks like he gets in his head a little bit. And you could see it on the free throw line last night.
Yeah.
So I need that oomph in him, man. I need him to get that dog in him a little bit. And that's not taking a shot at him. It's just saying like, hey, it's there, man. The talent is there. But get out of your head, okay? Because there's no way you should have, what did he go, 6 for 16 last night? 6 for 17 from the free throw line? Like, there's no way. Joe Nye is way better than that. And you could tell, man, that first half he had that dog. But like you said with Jalen, sometimes it's there, sometimes it drifts away and you never see it again. It's tough, man. It's tough. It just felt like it was the same thing. It felt like the Houston game was the same thing that it's been all year. Auburn gets up. We saw it in Tuscaloosa. Auburn gets up. They build a big lead. Everything's going their way. And then all of a sudden, we even saw it during the Iowa game. So I don't know why I'm tripping on that. We get up 17. Flan takes it coast to coast, hits a nice little and one, gets hacked, hits the fans with a little shimmy shake. And then all of a sudden, we forget how to play defense. And I don't know, man. It just it was so hard to watch. But kudos to the team, man, for real. I'm super excited. I agree with you. I think they overachieved because I was on that fence of like, man, this team is super NIT bound. They just at one point I was saying they didn't even deserve to make the tournament. So to get into the tournament and win a game, I think that's pretty big for us, Dustin.
Yeah, I mean, this could have been the season could have been a lot worse. So, just Bruce drawing up defensive game plans that kept us in games that we probably shouldn't have been in because we are just severely limited offensively.
I agree 100%. And I guess that's why the first half of last night felt really good, is because our guards were just absolutely hooping, bro. Like, it felt like we were about to put up 100 on a team that averages 55 points per game, something like. I think Houston gives up 55 points per game. Yeah. And I even text you and I said, hey, bro, we just put up 41 and a half on a team that only gives up 55 a game. Insane, man. What Auburn did in that first half last night, it felt good. That felt like Bryce Brown and Jared Harper basketball and Chuma Okike. It was fun. It got back to the days of just letting it fly, man. Auburn hitting shots. KD Johnson, he had his little psychoness back in him, and that was a guy that kind of come on down the stretch, in my opinion, Dustin, and started playing well. but we'll talk about him here in just a little bit. But man, let's get in this first round game. Auburn 83-75 over Iowa. Dustin, just give me your thoughts about this game, man. Getting a tournament win. And Auburn had to battle down the stretch. We talked a little bit earlier about how Auburn got the 17-point lead. Iowa battles back, and Auburn eventually pulls back away, man. Just give me your opening round game thoughts.
It was about you win these games with guard play.
Mm-hmm.
So Janai pitches in 19 points, 12 rebounds. Flan gets a double-double. So that obviously helps. But at the end of the day, you win games in March because of guard play. And Wendell didn't have his best game from the field, didn't shoot well from the field at this tournament, but he did get to the line, especially in the second half, and he made all of his free throws. And you also tweeted out during the first game, we're going to win the game with a free throw line. And that's, look at the two games. You make them in one, you don't. I mean, it just is. I mean, golly, dude. It's Trey. Trey comes in, gives you 11. KD comes in, gives you just this energy, gives you what he gives you. He's hitting the shot. So you got a lot of production out of guard play, and that's how you win these games. And to speak to Trey, you go back to that performance in Tuscaloosa. You go back to the way he's kind of played at the end of the year. We've seen it all year. Like, the defensive part of his game is steadily improved, and it was never bad. He's not scared to rebound. He's got that football player mentality. He's got the best court vision and best passing ability on the team. And now you're seeing the confidence in the shot, and you're seeing the confidence on the offensive end. He is going to be a problem in the future. He is just a smart player. He's not scared of the moment. So that's a good thing to see. And that's how you win those kind of games, because there's been so many times this year where it's all been on Wynn's 5'9" foot, shoulders. And that's hard for a guard that small to carry a team. And Wynn's had to do it throughout the season. So KD and Trey coming in and saying, boom, man, we're going to give you all the help that you need. And I mean, the spark that Trey provided. And listen, second game too. Look at the difference in both games when you took Trey Donaldson off the floor.
Yeah.
Took him off the floor in the first game, and it immediately went south.
Yep. Dustin, sorry, man. That Trey Turner is on absolute fire. All right. Team USA is up 3-1 over Cuba right now, man. Sorry, I just saw him hit a ball into orbit. But you were definitely right about Trey Donaldson. But this Trey Turner, man, what a drive, man. And that grand slam last night against Venezuela, an iconic moment in professional baseball, the glory of the US of A, winning that game last night. But, man, yeah, Trey Donaldson, it's just what a spark, man. The confidence to really let it fly in that Iowa game, first round, first game for him in that March Madness, in that feeling of the bracket, man, where everything, the lights can be bright, the arena can be too big. It wasn't for him. And my biggest thing, man, is like, yeah, Trey was the spark for sure. But Alan Flanagan and Joe Nye on the boards, man, 22 boards combined with both of them guys. I felt like that kind of hurt us last night too when Flan against Houston. When Flan went out of the game, I felt like Houston started controlling the glass a little bit, and Flan was really getting down in there and getting grimy and slimy on the glass and getting tough rebounds. But I really felt like that was a big key in the Iowa game that some people kind of overlooked, was Flan and Joe Nye on the boards, man. I thought Flan played absolutely stellar in that first game, man. And Joe Nye, we get Joe Nye. We get that performance pretty much night in, night out. But yeah, man, what Trey did really, really sparked that run and getting that lead up to 17. And maybe that was his coming out party. We always said, Dustin, when he figures out how to score, he's going to be elite, bro. And I know you've been high on him ever since we've started doing this basketball recap, man. We have, been all over the Trey Donaldson train. So, great win. First game, man. Auburn hits their free throws in this one, and they pull out a big time victory. Like we said, over a quality Big Ten opponent, and they move on to face the Houston Cougars, man. Houston, the number 2 overall team in the bracket, in the entire field, possibly could have been the number 1 overall team if they wouldn't have lost their conference championship game to the Memphis Tigers. We didn't know if Sasser was going to play, their big time guard, their All-American guard. He decides to play, and he stayed on the bike a lot. Did get in some foul trouble, but he stayed on the bike, kept the groin moving, and seemed not to have a big problem out of it last night. But man, just give me your thoughts on Houston. What a great first half Auburn played. What a miserable second half they played, and just the overall outcome of that 81-64 loss, man.
Yeah, that's kind of one of them where you just look at the numbers and you see what it is. So, like in the first game, you had 6 guys scoring double digits.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to lose a game where you do that. You
Yep.
only had, I think, 7 turnovers. You're going to have into like 14, 15 assists. Hard to lose a game when you do that. Then you come out and you're playing the same type of ball in the first half versus Houston. Jalen Williams looked like he's going to put up a 24, 30 piece. And then the second half comes and nothing. And it's like the thing that sucks, the thing that's been so consistent about this Auburn basketball team is that good teams, when you're up big, are going to come make a run. So do you manage it? When you're up by 17 and it gets down to 8, 6, do you come out and hit a 3 and get a steal and hit a layup and get it back up to 11? Do you manage it? We don't manage it. It starts falling apart, and it falls apart, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what it was. We shot 16.7% in the second half. We shot 16.7% in the second half. You're not going to win any games when you do that. You're not going to win games when you go 19. All right. So so for all the shit that we've gone through this year with officiating, the basketball god said, "Here you go. I'm going to give you 36 free throws." And you only hit 19 of them. 19 for 36. D1 athletes. Now, love Trey, coming out party Trey. You airballed a free throw, brother? We had 2 D1 athletes airball free throws in a tournament game.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. And was smiling about it. Everybody, and this ain't just an Auburn thing. I have seen this throughout the tournament. Every time in the tournament I've seen somebody airball a free throw, everyone just laughs about it on that team, even the coach. What the hell's funny about that? There's nothing funny about that. That's pathetic. I thought nothing at all was funny about that. And this is the thing about the game to me that like stands out the most. Beyond the terrible free throws, beyond whatever in the world shooting 16.7% is. Go at one point you were 1 for 15 to start the freaking half.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond all that. Oh, and by the way, their best guys were on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're getting cooked by their backups. In the first game versus Iowa, you played like you had nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
That was the most fun I thought I saw this team have. I thought that the energy level was up, and I thought that they were just playing loose and having a good time. Now, you kind of saw it tighten up in the past 4 or 5 minutes when the pressure, because that's unfortunately what it is. The first half, and this is why I felt good coming into the Houston game, because we were playing with house money.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the way we played in the first half. And then it's almost like sitting in that locker room at halftime, that pressure of, oh man, we're actually up double digits on the number 1 seed. It seemed like it just crept in, and then it just was not the same, bro. And this is my thing with the future of this team and this roster. They are like these guys are talented, yes, but there was just something with the mental makeup of this team that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying, and they play hard and they hustle. It's not nothing like that. But there's just something that when it gets tight, they go the wrong way. And it's in their head. Like you said, you saw it with Janai at the free throw line. It got to the point where after when he had missed a certain amount of them, you knew he like, okay, this is going to be a problem the rest of the game. He's not going to get this right. Like, it just
Yeah, they were fouling him on purpose because they knew he was cooked.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's just like there needs to be some changes for that reason, if nothing else. This group of guys, there's just something that ain't right when it gets tight.
Mm-hmm. I agree, man. I agree. One of the big things in the Houston game was the first half, man. We were getting out in transition. We were pushing the basketball. We were making Houston play our game, right? What we wanted to do. And I remember I text you, I said, bro, Houston's playing right into our hands. All right, they're playing right into our hands. We saw Sasser and the what's his name? Shed.
That Marks kid. That Marks kid
Yeah.
posted us up.
Dude, they knew they had mismatches all over the court. And that's what kind of gets me with our guards, man, is when you have such smaller guards, is they knew they could get that 10 to 15 footer, all right, mid-range, back us down, turn around, pop, bang, there it is. And I feel like anytime Houston felt like they needed a bucket, that's what they were going to do.
Yep.
The Mark kid killed us, and there was no Flan on the floor to stop him.
Or Zep. It was confusing.
And that's what killed us, man, is their ability to get to that shot and get it off whenever they wanted to. And it killed us, bro. You can go back and watch the film. Every single time they needed a bucket, they went to that shot. And it was there every time. There was nothing we could do about it. And if they missed it, they either got fouled. All right. And guess what? They made their free throws, Dustin.
Yes,
all right.
Didn't
They
miss
hit
one in the
theirs.
second half. Yeah.
They hit their free throws. All right. And that's what makes them a great team. Look, man, I'll be honest with you. College basketball is going to come down to free throw shooting. Let me tell you something, dude. You get to those 1-and-1s, you getting that bonus, and you can't hit the front end of that 1-and-1 as a college basketball team, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. That is basically a free turnover. All right. Everybody's like, oh, well, it was just a 1-and-1. No, it's a turnover. Okay. You have to make the front end of those 1-and-1s. You have to, honestly, man, you should make both of them. There's no way you should miss 17 free throws in a game. No way. There's no way. I know middle schools here in the state of Alabama and down here in Mobile that can shoot free throws better than that. It's pathetic, man. There's no way. And especially our guards, like you said, Dustin, is like we got guards. KD last night went to the free throw line, all right? And he bricked 2 of them.
Yep.
Just clank, clank.
Right after Janiyah missed 4, you missed 6 free throws in a row.
It's bad, man. It's really bad. And I'm kind of with you on this when you say the makeup of this team just isn't there. I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, yeah, it's not there because we just mentioned, man, you missed all those free throws in a row. If this makeup was any different, you would be making these shots, man. You would have guys out there wanting to be in that moment. And you especially look at a guy like KD who got ran off the court against Miami last year in the round of 32. And man, you can't hit a free throw? Like, I don't know. And it's bad because I had people on social media, like Alabama fans on social media, LSU fans that I know on social media, and they're like, hey, man, like my nephew could shoot better than 19 to 36 from the free throw line, and he's 9 years old. And I'm just sitting here like, like I want to get mad at it, but I can't because he's right. He's right. I know 9-year-old and 10-year-old kids that can make those shots. So
the thing is, dude, it's like because it's been such a problem, we've almost we just say, it's Auburn with free throws.
Yep.
Nah, screw that shit. That's got to stop. That has to stop. We need to start making free throws. It's beyond ridiculous. You just lost another tournament game because you can't hit free throws when you need to hit them. You would have won a national championship if you could hit free throws when you need to hit them. So whatever this problem is, that despite roster turnover, continues to be a problem with Auburn, not hitting free throws in the clutch. I don't know what it is, but just saying, "Oh, well, it's Auburn. It's Auburn and free throws." That's not how you fix it. So it needs to be. I don't know how. Okay, I don't know what. I don't know what has to happen with that. I'm not the one making. I'm not the 5th highest paid coach in the country. That needs to be figured out.
Do they even practice shooting free throws? Because it don't look like it.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, bro. Like, I guarantee you, if we sit there and watch them in practice, they make them. It goes back to my point about the mental makeup of this squad. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying there aren't guys like Zep and Jalen or Flan or whoever that try to be leaders. But what I'm saying, and that mean well, but what I'm saying is ultimately in crunch time, their message is not effective. The results speak for itself. There needs to be a a new chemistry, a new group. These guys, this bunch of guys together, when it gets tight, they can't do it.
Yeah, and Dustin, I wanna give a shout out to the Mark kid from Houston, the guard, man. I really feel like he won this game for Houston. I feel like he showed up with their 2 guards getting into foul trouble. Sasser with the injury, having to stay on the bike a little bit. I really feel like he come in and he hit big shot after big shot after big shot, and he won this game for Houston, man. But it was a tough pill to swallow. Having to sit there through the last 8-9 minutes of the game and realizing that you just choked one away.
Knowing what was happening,
it sucked, man. And like I said earlier, I just feel like we should have saw it coming. It's happened time and time and time again.
It's crazy.
And what, people kind of brush the free throw thing off, and people always want to blame officiating. And like you said, they handed us a gift last night and we didn't take it. But Dustin, the free throws, man, like, it just, look at 2019. Look at 2019. That's how bad it hurts, man, because why did we lose the Final Four game? All right.
Jared Harper misses the front end.
He misses, man. Hey, and what happens? All right, everybody's like, "Oh, the officiating." No, we didn't hit a free throw.
Yeah, 90% free throw shooter.
We didn't hit a free throw. And what's bad is Macklemore goes to the line, looks over at the bench and says, "Hey, ring me." All right, ring me. Points at his ring finger. All right, knocks his down. But then you put Jared Harper on the line, and he can't knock it down to solidify you going to the national championship game. A 90% free throw shooter. And you still want to sit here and say it's officiating. It's officiating. No, man, you've had your opportunities. Look, some of those calls last night to get Houston on that run, yeah, bro, they were soft. They were weak. They were weak as shit.
They were weak both ways, though.
Yeah, exactly. They were weak both ways. Because, like, I saw some shit called on Jonah where the Houston guys were like, "Hey, man, come on." And, and that's what I was kind of telling people, is like, some of those whistles, it was just, sometimes you get in a ref show, where they get really happy with the whistle. And, it's not like it was one-sided, man. You got 36 free throws. Stop blaming it on officiating. Bow your neck and make a damn shot, man.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that kind of eats me up, is everybody's like, "Oh, the officiating in 2019, so-and-so, Ty Jerome double dribbled and they called that foul with Kyle Guy and everything." No, man, we missed a free throw. Like, come on. Just own up to it one time. We can't shoot free throws, and it's got to change. It's got to change because, what, you lose by 17, and the game was nowhere near what the score indicated, man. I mean, it was such a good basketball game, and it just completely fell apart at the end, man. But, you hit those free throws and you're right there in the game, man. Even if you only make 13 of them, all right, you're in the game. You're in the game. Right?
Right.
Just I'm not asking you to go
Yeah.
perfect. I'm not asking you to
Yeah.
go 36 or 36. But man, you gotta go 30 or 36 or
Gotta be at
bro.
75%.
Yeah, you cannot sit here and go 19. You can't even go 25 or 36, bro.
No.
You can't do it. All right. You have to shoot free throws because college basketball comes down to just that. If you don't hit free throws, you are going to lose basketball games. And it's at every level, Dustin. It's from middle school to high school to college to the NBA. If you don't hit free throws, you're going to lose games, man. That's the one thing that just it eats me up, Dustin. It eats me up, man. But the season comes to an end. Everybody immediately starts talking about the roster and the turnover and who's going pro, who's coming back. Is anybody using a COVID year? We know Zep and Lior are out. Man, who do you think stays and who do you think goes?
Man, I have no idea, but this is what I will say, just from my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the only guys that I think cannot leave are Trey and Janai.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else, and I'm not mad if Jalen comes back, okay? But like those are the two guys that I say, no, I for sure want them on the roster next year. With everybody else, can you upgrade? Like, like if you get rid of Jalen, what comes in return? Because here's the thing, like at this point with Jalen, it's like, bro, you disappear on me. You just disappear on me. Like you're cooking in the first half, and you didn't get stopped in the second half. You quit shooting the ball. You quit being aggressive, and it's like it's the story of his career at this point. So say like with
Mm-hmm.
Flan, I think that Flan had came on and thought very proud of like the way where his career was and what he was able to do this year and kind of reestablish himself. So if Flan comes back next year, I'm not like gonna be like, oh my God. But what I'm saying is look at the possibilities. Can you upgrade? Can you go get a 6'9", 6'10", 6'8" type small forward that can play defense, that can hit the three ball at like a 40%? Like it just depends. I think that the potential with Trey and then obviously what Janai is, I would like can't lose those guys. But whatever, with whatever else, like I understand Chance is basically taking a red shirt year and is going to come back. But I'm not putting any stock in like him doing
Yeah.
anything ever at Auburn. If I see it, I
Yeah.
see it. If Johan goes, I'm not going to be upset at all. You see what I'm saying? Like it just, I'm up for there being a complete
Yeah.
turnover, and this is kind of something that I noticed this weekend, and I know that this is going to come off as a shot at certain people. It's not a shot. It's just an observation. You know, and maybe this is just my personality. I could be off on this one, but we did a whole lot of patting other teams on the back in the press this weekend. A whole lot of it. Even
Mm-hmm.
after the game last night. Hey, come on, y'all go win it. Well, who do we want to win it? Because apparently our whole team wants Alabama to win the national championship.
Yeah.
And now you want Houston to win the national championship. Like Wendell came out and said before the SEC championship, I don't like Arkansas. We don't like Arkansas. And then other guys were like shooting that down. Like, no. Well, we love Arkansas. Like, it's weird. Like, we go out of our way. Like, it's just, I hate it. I think it's
Yeah.
too much. But I think it kind of like, to me, when I watch us nut up in the final 3 minutes of every close game. And then I see us patting Alabama on the back and wishing them well and wishing all these like just it's just over the top with it. I understand showing love to your competitor and all that, but we like go out of our way with it. And we got multiple guys on our team that do it. So to me, it's just like to see a turnover and man, give me some mere Dowdies, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, just give me the Samir Dowdies. This upward basketball, like, are you trying to get a sticker for good sportsmanship? Like, we got some guys
Yeah.
that would have nothing but blue stars for good sportsmanship, and that's well and cool, bro. Go Auburn Creed, but like, I want some dogs, okay? And
Yeah.
we need more. There's not enough on this team. So whatever the turnover is, um, man, obviously we need 3-point shooters.
Yeah,
Obviously we need some more ball handlers. We need we need a consistent ball handler that is over 6 feet, because Wendell, it was not about effort for Wendell last night.
yeah,
There was several times where he was in perfect position and did everything fundamentally right that he could do on marks. The
just
math
too
is the
small.
math. The
Yeah,
math is the math. The science is the science.
you're right. You're right. And even when he blew by their guards and got into the lane, bro, he just
Yeah, it
bam,
is what it
there you
is.
go. They're the trees, they're right there. And look, man, I want 6'3", 6'4" guards like Houston
Hmm.
has. All right. That's what I
Yeah.
want. That
Yeah.
like look,
A&M. Yeah.
yeah, like you have to like give me the big physical guards. All right.
100%.
Um, and look, I made a tweet earlier in the year where I was like, look, big physical lengthy guards give you problems. And a guy was like, well, they give everybody problems. Yeah, but they don't give you as many problems as
If
what
you
we
have
had
them.
last night, where Mark was just getting to his spot and he was just flat out shooting over our guys. And there
Yeah.
was nothing we could do. And when we did contest, we ended up fouling the elbow and 2 shots. All right. So, yeah, they might give you problems, but they don't give you as many problems. All right. Look at Arkansas over there with Nick Smith Jr. right now. They get him back fully healthy. Bang. They beat Kansas. They're going to the Sweet 16. And give me the big physical guards. All right. 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Those are the guys that I want. I'm just kind of tired of the 5'10", 5'11". It's just Jared Harper was fun because he could hit from the parking lot. All right.
Yeah.
It was great. It was fun. It was so much fun to watch. Just getting out in transition, the lobs, the kickouts, the Bryce Brown, all that stuff was fun. It was great. But it hurts you defensively. And we don't have that anymore. We don't have a guy that can hit from the parking lot. We don't have a guy like Jared Harper. So, you know, I want to see a different makeup next year as well. And I know we will. I think Flan's gone. That's just my opinion. I think he's gone because he really flirted with it last year.
Yeah.
And, he went to the little NBA G League
And
little.
played well. Played
Yeah, and
well.
played well. And played well. People, scouts were like, hey, Alan Flanagan. And we
Yeah.
were all just kind of like, where was this, And then I really feel like his game towards the end of the year this year just got better and better
Mhm.
and better. And I really thought that he was one of our PT peers towards, this final little run that we went on right here at the end of the year. So I do think Flan's going to leave. I think Jalen might return. The Instagram post. I know you didn't see it, but I told you about it. Wendell Green Jr. With the LeBron screenshot saying maybe it's me with the peace sign. We all know that usually means deuces. So are we looking too much into it? Or do you think Wendell Green Jr. could be exiting the Auburn basketball program?
No, you're not looking too much into it because this is the way that kids communicate these days. I mean,
Yeah.
whenever Kyler Murray scrubbed his Instagram, um, back for the Arizona Cardinals quarterback, and then everybody made a big deal about it, like, oh, what does this mean? And then his people were like, nothing, nothing. He's just cleaning his Instagram. And then it turns out there was problems in the contract negotiations and all
Yeah.
kind of stuff. There was a bunch of problems. Like it doesn't mean it doesn't. It's not nothing. It's not nothing. So then the question is he just emotional, and is he just upset? And then what is his messaging? Is he? I mean, it's still kind of vague. Is he just like down because he just lost and didn't play his best game? And is he saying like, damn, okay, maybe I'm the problem? Is he just sad? Or is he like saying that like it's his message, I'm catching flack when or y'all want to put the blame on me? I don't know what he's trying to say. So um it's something. And like I said though, I think that when look, he got the accolade that he got, second team all SEC for a reason. He earned it. Um I understand it's difficult to be a guard and play amongst
Mm.
those bigs. So the effort that he puts in, he plays his ass off. If Wendell Green does decide to leave, we're more than capable of bringing in a guard that can get the job done. And again, I like Win. Okay, second team All SEC, and he earned it. But if that's a decision he wants to make, then we can upgrade.
Absolutely, I agree. I don't want him to leave. I'm I'm a big Wendell Green Jr. guy. I love him, man. I do. I am ready to see a different guard. Uh, you know, in time, I want to see Bruce get to those big
He's
physical
a
guards. But I do love Wendell Green Jr.
six
Man.
man. I think he's a good six
Yeah,
man, don't you?
yeah. 100%. I like him off the bench. I honestly wouldn't even mind seeing him, get off the ball a little bit, and just try to get a shot up. Maybe he would fit more into that role.
Yeah.
I'm just sometimes, man, with him running the offense, things get really ISO'd. Auburn gets you, man. You saw it a lot in that second half last night,
Yeah,
Dustin.
late in games. Yeah,
It was a lot of dribbling, no offense getting set up. It was just funky basketball, man. So I don't want to see him leave, but it was a little cryptic message.
for sure.
And usually the peace sign means deuces. That is what this age of young kids, that's the way they talk, and that's the way they communicate, like you said. So I had to address that. And, man, I hate to see Auburn basketball come to an end. It was a fun ride. It was an up and down ride. We had a blast talking about it all year. But, man, it comes to an end, and it hurts because, like one thing, man, I don't want to see the other team in the state win anything. Zep made those comments. Look, I understand why he made the comments. Okay, I do. All right, I've lived here for 32 years. All right, I turned 32 years old this past Thursday. Okay, I know the rivalry. All right, I live it every day. But in that building and in that moment, would I have said it? Absolutely not. But I do understand why he said it. And I understand what kind of person Zep is. Zep is one of those guys that he's not gonna be rude. He's not going to speak on anybody's name. He's not gonna talk about anybody. That's just not who he is, and so I get why, coming from him, I get why he said it. And now in my locker room, if I hear you say something like that, I'm with you. I was with you the other night on Twitter, bro. Like I was, but I understood why, coming from Zip, he said that. Because also, like, I get, like, he didn't want to stir up any drama, like he didn't want to stir nothing up. And I know the media.
He kind of failed in that, though, didn't he?
He did, yeah, because he started up. But, like, the media will get your words and completely twist anything you're trying to say. So, it is what it is. I think people have already forgotten about it now. But
worried about free throws now.
Yeah, that's a fact. We should still be shooting them, honestly. Nobody should even be going home yet. We should still be shooting them. So, but yeah, man, before we get out of here, Dustin, I'm gonna leave you with the floor, man. Just give us anything you got, and it's your time, brother.
No, it's been fun talking basketball all year. Like you said, it's been up and down, and football wasn't even up and down. It was just a lot of down. But yeah, we went through a rough stretch there to end the basketball season, and now the baseball podcast tomorrow won't be the most fun either. So these things can be challenging sometimes, but it's fun. We appreciate everybody. Thank you all for listening. There's so many options out there for different Auburn podcasts, college basketball podcasts. So you're taking the time out of your day to listen to us. We really appreciate it. And listen, we're at 189 subscribers, so at least 11 will get us to 200, and that'll make us feel pretty good. 500, and we can kind of opens up some stuff for us. We can start posting graphics and pictures and polls and different things on YouTube. So help us get to 500. If you help us get to 1,000, and we can monetize, start making some money, and then we really start doing some things that we want to do. So we love you guys. We appreciate you. When you're watching the video, all you got to do, click that thumbs up button, share it on Twitter, let your Auburn friends know, hey, man, this is a good podcast right here. Do everything you can to help us out because we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we just want to grow and expand this thing. And we got a lot of big plans. So help us out the best you can. And like I said, man, thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you for riding with us.
Well, you heard it there. Dustin, hitting the nail on the head, man. Go follow us. Go over to Apple, Spotify. You can get the audio version there. And click right here and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share it out, folks. Hit the like button. Help us out any way you can. Get the algorithm going. Share the link as well. That really helps. If you could just go in and share the link and put it on Twitter and just share it out that way, that helps the algorithm a bunch. So we really appreciate each and every one of you for just giving us the opportunity and spending your time to listen to us. We greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, we're going to wrap this one up. We'll leave you with a War Damn Eagle, and we